Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. It's 3 minutes after 3, so we're going to get rolling here a little bit. Hello, everybody. I'm Brian Decker. We're broadcasting here from the conference room at Decker Nursery in Columbus, Ohio. And I also serve as the executive director to the IPPS Eastern Region Foundation. So I want to welcome you all to this micro meeting today, where our focus is going to be to update you on some of the developments and status of the foundation and what we've been able to accomplish. Now, because we're Plant Propagating Society, IPPS, before we get into the meat of things, I thought I'd show you a little something. And I wanted to give you an idea. The other day I was demonstrating as well as teaching one of our young IPPS members about grafting, and he was having a great deal of trouble making his tie. So I'm going to demonstrate something to you here in a moment. So bear with me if you can, about doing some junipers here. And got a cute little sign cut here on a juniper tortuosa going onto a Hetsai juniper understock. Nothing unusual about that. The young grafter was having a great deal of trouble with his tie, so I was trying to demonstrate to him how with time and experience it would become very easy to him. And if you watch my eyes, I'm not going to look at what I'm doing on the grafting. I'm looking at my camera screen. And if you get those movements practiced well enough, that is what you come up with. A beautiful little tied graft without even having to look. And God, with live television or live video, I'm sure glad that worked out the way I hoped. Anyhow, the point I'm making is not about my skill level. It's about the skill level of everyone that's involved with IPPS. What I would say to you is that whether we're talking about world-class professors teaching horticulture, or we're talking about plant propagators or perennial specialists or public garden specialists that know how to do that job well, whatever the field of endeavor in IPPS, you are surrounded by some of the absolute best top of the line horticulturalists on the planet, period. Be proud of who we are. And we take that sometimes for granted, the fact that the people we sit next to on the bus literally are some of the best in the world. So that's who we are. And we all have our skill sets. Some of us can tie graphs like that without looking, and other people can do what they do so very, very well. So that's one of the things that's wonderful about IPPS. So indulge me for going down that path. I'd like to talk now about the foundation and where we are and where we're going and what's going on with the foundation. I'd like to use an analogy that 15 to 18 years ago or so, when this all was an idea in the minds of a lot of people, the foundation was pretty much like a dream about a really nice, cool car to get rebuilt. And all it really was some dusty old rusty piece of junk that was in somebody's barn somewhere back on the farm somewhere. And that's about where the foundation started back then. It was a lot of money that was collected from plant auctions, from donations, from a lot of different things. But it was kind of ambiguous, and it really didn't have any kind of clear purpose or direction. It was just an idea of wouldn't it be cool someday to have a cool car. Well, we got a hold of that old rusty car back then. It didn't have any tires on it. The engine was shot, the body was shot, everything else, but we started to go and rework up that car. A few years ago, we reached a corpus goal, and corpus is a term used in foundations and other things for the base money that people have donated. of a minimum of $250,000 before we could start to really work on that car. We did that. Some of you were there, it was probably a pretty memorable day that when everyone in that membership stood up and said, no, we're not going to drag this out any longer. And we raised over 30 some thousand dollars in one day at that IPPS meeting at the annual conference, and took us over that $250,000 limit. That was a pretty proud moment. We started to build that car, and then we started to get serious on the board. The foundation board, we formed up 3 committees. One was scholarship, one was internship, and one was research grant. The interesting thing about internship is it was a novel idea. No one else is doing this. It's rather specific to IPPS Eastern Region Foundation. And it was the idea that maybe we could help people who were young in their careers that needed to have an outside experience. They may already be working in the industry, maybe not, but they would go ahead and get some assistance to try something new. We developed those committees, timelines, procedures, forms for people to fill out, everything you can imagine that's part of the nuts and bolts of actually giving money away. It's a lot harder than just standing on the street corner with $100 bills hanging out of your pocket. But we found a way to do it right, do it transparent, and do it fair. Very, very proud of the committees for the work that they've done. In the fundraising side, we developed processes and plans on how to go about that. We took care of the accounting and got the accounting organized and set up, I believe, QuickBooks, and we have very good financial reports that are available now. That's something more than just what's our bank balance. So we have set up all those things as we begin to continue to work through that. And not only have we taken that corpus of $250,000 in the last 2 years, but we went ahead and through additional donations and wise money management through Brian Maynard, our treasurer, and Vanguard, who manages our funds, we've grown our funds now to $348,000 back in a month or so ago. I don't know what they are at the exact moment. But that has allowed us to do this because when you run a foundation, you can't spend the corpus. You need to go ahead and do all your grants and everything that you're going to give away and pay for the nuts and bolts of the foundation from the investment earnings. And if you do it right, your investment earnings are going to provide for your awards, provide for your expenses, and provide additional growth of the corpus. If any of you are fans of Christmas Vacation, it's kind of, when you donate to the foundation, if we do it right, it's kind of like the Jelly of the Month Club. It just keeps as a gift that just keeps giving. And if we do our job right, that's exactly what's going to happen. That gift is just going to keep on giving. So that's the way we need to work on that. Now we've accumulated some really interesting videos from some of the award winners. And I'm so thrilled with these, and I hope you will be too. And I'd like you to take a minute now to watch some of the people that we helped.
Hi, I'm Chad Vandenbosch, and I'm studying at the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. I'm a master's student, and I'm studying plant physiology in their biology department, and I intend to graduate in December of 2021. The funds from this IPPS Eastern Region Foundation Scholarship really helped me as a student to focus on my schoolwork. Before earning this scholarship, I was considering getting a part-time job just to kind of alleviate some of the financial strain. And this scholarship allowed me to avoid doing that and focus on my schoolwork, which was really helpful. So thank you very much for the scholarship, and it really means a lot to me. So my career goals are to study how plants respond to different light qualities. And what I mean by light qualities is different intensities of different colors of light, whether it be red, far red, or blue light. Currently, I'm studying how radishes respond to different light qualities and how that controls the flowering mechanisms in these plants. So after I graduate, I would love to continue on with a similar style of work and research and look further into how light qualities influence plant growth.
Hello, my name is Erin Farr. I'm a fourth-year PhD student at Rutgers University. I'm based in New Brunswick, New Jersey, but I'm originally from Minnesota. I am very grateful to be a recipient of an IPPS Eastern Region Foundation Scholarship this year. I was touched to hear that Brian Decker raised more money last minute to cover another scholarship. There are a lot of very generous people in IPPS. This scholarship will support me in July and August when I don't receive a teaching assistant stipend. This will allow me to focus on my research and writing my thesis and not having to find a second job to support myself. For my PhD thesis, I am working with Dr. Tom Molnar on breeding and genetics of big bracted dogwood. So for my first project, I'm doing a diversity study of Cornus florida and Cornus kousa cultivars, hybrids, and wild collected accessions. I am sampling from plants in the Rutgers University collection and also Botanic Garden collections. I'm also working to improve the resistance of our native dogwood, Cornus florida, to powdery mildew. I'm using one of our powdery mildew resistant accessions, or one of our breeding selections at Rutgers, and I'm looking at the genes that cause resistance to understand them better and to figure out where they are located in the genome. We could use this information to more efficiently breed powdery mildew resistant Cornus florida. For my last project, I'm also looking at genes that cause susceptibility to powdery mildew for Cornus florida. So these genes are called MLO genes, and I'm investigating them in Cornus florida and seeing if I knock them out using CRISPR gene editing, if that would increase disease resistance. So my final career goal is to be an ornamental plant breeder working in industry. I'm really excited about breeding for increased disease resistance and stress tolerance, in addition to normal breeding goals like reblooming and other ornamental traits. I would also like to be able to translate some really cool techniques like CRISPR gene editing, molecular plant breeding, and high throughput phenotyping that have been developed for agricultural crops to breeding woody ornamentals. I've been more involved in IPPS this year, and I'm learning a lot. I've really enjoyed the micro meetings that you've put together this fall. I've particularly enjoyed the one from Paul Cappiello, who wrote the reference book on dogwoods, and I use this book a lot in my research. So once again, thank you very much to IPPS and all the generous donors who support horticulture students like me. These scholarships really make a difference. I look forward to being an ornamental plant breeder and working in the green industry. Thank you.
My name is Eli Wilson. I'm studying ecological agriculture in my home state of Vermont at the University of Vermont. I'm going to be graduating this spring of 2021. The IPPS scholarship has done a lot for me this semester. It has made it so I didn't have to get an additional job on the weekends to pay for housing. So that has allowed me to be, as like the Horticulture president, be more involved in the club events. It has allowed me to diversify my schedule so I can take electives like orchard management and also TA 2 classes of weed ecology and woody landscape plants. I would like to thank the IPPS Foundation for this donation because it has made a very big difference in my studies this semester, and it should be advancing me in my career path of pomology or orchard management or vineyard management, which I would like to follow up with a career in higher education. So thank you guys very much.
Greetings, everyone. I hope you all are doing well and staying safe during our COVID-19 pandemic. I'm Christopher Thompson, and I graduated from Kent State University in Ohio. I graduated with my bachelor's and associate's degree in applied horticulture with a concentration in urban forestry. I would like to take some time to express my gratitude and appreciation to the IPPS Foundation and its members for awarding me and my fellow recipients the internship scholarship. It really means a lot to me that you all are willing to aid in the funding, education, and training of young horticultural professionals. The money for this scholarship was used in a variety of ways. I was able to use the funds to help pay for my housing and transportation costs while I completed my final internship in Ghana. This allowed me to travel to far-off towns and farms to learn about the various agricultural practices needed to grow crops such as tomatoes, cucumbers, pineapple, palm, and cocoa. I'm also grateful for the scholarship reward because some of the money was used to help pay for my emergency repatriation flight back to the US from Ghana. Due to the coronavirus forcing international travel to come to a standstill, with your funds, I was able to catch one of the last flights back to the US from Ghana. So thanks again for that. This scholarship was also used in my studies. It really helped and made a difference. This just allowed me to gain new experiences and perspectives that I used in my senior research paper. So being able to travel to a new country and participate in unique hands-on learning experiences really stretched my understanding and knowledge of plants and of the world in a very gratifying way. Seeing this through a new lens was really invigorating, and it gave me the drive to craft an extremely detailed note and reports that really translated well into my research paper. So now that I'm finished with school, my new career objectives are finding opportunities that will allow me to grow my botanical knowledge while gaining new and unique experiences that will hone my horticultural skills. So again, I'm very grateful for your scholarship and enjoy your day. Take care.
Hi, my name is Caitlin McVeigh, and I'm currently a junior at the University of Wisconsin, located in Madison, Wisconsin. Over the summer, I had the opportunity to be a horticultural intern at the Mount Auburn Cemetery, located in Cambridge, Massachusetts. This place is an actively working cemetery and an arboretum, which is known as one of the nation's greatest cemeteries. Throughout this experience, I had the opportunity to work with the horticultural team in the greenhouse and learn many new propagating techniques and how to take care of plants. I also had the opportunity to visit multiple botanical gardens located throughout the New England area and have more learning experiences in that way. The IPPS ER Foundation Intern Award really helped me with transportation and housing costs, and it inspired me to pursue the plant sciences further throughout my studies. I would like to thank the IPPS ER Foundation for providing me with such a great opportunity. And this opportunity has also furthered my passion in research in the plant sciences as well. And my future career aspirations are to pursue a graduate degree and possibly a PhD in the plant sciences and work in academia.
Okay. What a horrible group of students. I was really impressed and blown away when I first saw those videos. I cannot say enough about the work of the scholarship and the internship committee to go ahead and have selected such fantastic young people to help them grow into future horticulturalists. That was really, really amazing. So that was beyond words. And I'm glad I had a chance in this COVID world to go ahead and find a way to get a chance for you to see what your efforts and your money and your treasure have spent and achieved. So there we go. I'd like at this time to move on to some other videos because I'd like to present some videos from our committee chairs, and we'll turn it over to them. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dave Sanford, a horticulture professor at Penn State University. I've been a member of the IPPS Eastern Region Foundation Board for a number of years, and for the past 2 years, it's been my privilege of chairing the scholarship committee for the foundation. The committee is composed of 3 individuals from the foundation board, and besides myself, the other 2 members are Brian Maynard, a professor of horticulture in the Department of Plant Sciences and Entomology at the University of Rhode Island, and Chuck Martin, a senior horticulturalist and grounds manager at Dow Gardens in Midland, Michigan. I've been asked to share with you some information on the foundation's academic scholarship program. One of the goals of the foundation since its beginning was to be able to provide support to students, and I'm pleased to say that we've been able to do so for the past couple of years. The purpose of this scholarship is primarily to be able to provide for financial support to qualified students pursuing degrees in horticulture or related fields. We accept applications from students in post-high school certificate, associate degree, baccalaureate, and graduate level programs. We currently have funds available to provide for two $2,000 scholarships on a yearly basis, one for an undergraduate student and one for a graduate student. The announcement advertising the scholarship goes out late winter, early spring, with a deadline of June 1st for all materials to be submitted. We ask students to submit a current resume, transcripts. Students must have completed at least 2 semesters or terms by the date of the application. We need the name of 2 references that may be contacted, and we in addition ask that they prepare a 2-page statement describing what inspired them to major in horticulture or their field of study, what are their goals after completing the degree, or where do they see themselves in 5 years, and also to describe activities where they've taken on a leadership role or provided service to their community or to an organization. Once the applications are received by the committee, we begin our work in early June to evaluate these applications based on the information provided in order to select the top applicant in both the undergraduate and the graduate level. At this time, we will contact references for the top candidates. Once we've selected an individual for both an undergraduate scholarship and also for a graduate level, we will present the recommendations to the foundation board for approval. This usually occurs sometime in early July. With the approval, the checks will be mailed to those students. This past year, we had an exceptional group of applications. So we, as a committee, went back to the foundation board for an additional $2,000 to provide for a 3rd scholarship. This would have put the board in a position of approving more money than what we considered financially sound. So thanks to the board's executive director, Brian Decker, he was able to raise an additional $2,000 within a week or so to support this 3rd scholarship this year. And we sincerely thank Brian and those individuals who made contributions to enable us to provide for this well-deserved 3rd scholarship to support another student. So this sort of describes the scholarships committee's function. We feel it's a very important part of our organization to support students that are going to end up with careers in our field. IPPS has been an important part of my professional life for some 30 years now, and I would encourage anyone to get involved past just being a member. As much as we need financial contributions to continue to support and grow the foundation, people can also support the organization by becoming involved in committees and helping it in other ways. I appreciate your time for allowing me to inform you of the scholarship program. I ask that you consider supporting the goals of the IPPS Eastern Region Foundation, both financially and with your service to the organization. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ron Amos, owner of Evergreen Nursery in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin, and a member of IPPS Eastern Region for over 30 years. For the past 2 years, I have had the pleasure to chair the IPPS Eastern Region Foundation Internship Committee. The committee is comprised of 3 members. Besides myself, there is Tim Brotzman, president of Brotzman Nursery in Madison, Ohio, Robert Geneve, professor of horticulture at the University of Kentucky. I've been asked to share some information about the internship program. The Eastern Region, or Eastern IPPS Region Foundation was created in 2004 to support research and education in ornamental horticulture. The primary objectives of the foundation are to provide small research grants, academic scholarships, and support interns in nurseries, public gardens, and schools. The IPPS Eastern Region Foundation started paying out funds in 2018. The purpose of the internship committee is to support entry-level individuals interested in acquiring additional skills and employment in ornamental horticulture businesses, for instance, nurseries, research institutions, and public gardens. The International Plant Propagation Society Eastern Region Foundation is proud to offer a funding program to support internship experiences related to nursery production, plant propagation, and plant collections for students or newer, let's say less than 5 years experience in industry workers. Grants are for up to $1,000 to support housing, wages, or educational expenses to enhance their overall internship experience. The successful candidates will receive a grant in the form of reimbursement for expenses incurred in their internship experience. I am proud to say the foundation was able to provide internship assistance for 2 students in the past year. Funding is available during 2 periods each year, January through June, with the cutoff for applications being October 15th, July through December, with the application date being by March 1. Up to $1,000 is available during each of the 2 funding periods. Proposals include resume, the name of the contact person from the internship company or institution where the candidate will work, the purpose of the funding request, and a detailed budget. You can apply online. Applications are submitted to the board. Successful applicants will be notified by November 1 or March 15th. Successful candidates are encouraged to present their experiences at the annual IPPS Eastern Region Conference in the form of a poster and provide a 1-page manuscript for the IPPS proceedings. As I mentioned, we supported 2 individuals, and we're pleased that we made their internships more successful. The internship program is especially dear to me. Between my junior and senior years of college, I interned at Evergreen Nursery. The owner was an IPPS active member and made sure that I got the most out of my summer internship. The research project I worked on that summer became a paper that I presented at an annual IPPS meeting. 3 years later, I was hired as propagator at Evergreen Nursery and eventually purchased the Evergreen Nursery from the owner. Who knows what can become of an internship? At Evergreen Nursery, we have provided a number of internships. In all cases, they have benefited greatly from the experience. IPPS has been an important part of my professional career. The knowledge and the friendships I've received from IPPS have been invaluable. The knowledge and I am involved in the foundation so we can offer experiences to more individuals in the horticulture industry and public gardens. It is important that we support individuals that will make the horticultural industry their career. This foundation needs donations to continue programs, but serving on a committee or providing internship experience is also an excellent way to support the foundation. Thank you for your time, and please consider supporting IPPS Eastern Region Foundation. Thank you.
As Research Grant Committee Chair, I'd like to take this opportunity to provide some background and an update on our research grant activity. The Eastern region has had a long history of supporting research for the nursery industry. Through HRI, we have provided approximately $135,000 to support 9 named funds for research. Here are the names of those individuals for which the Society has named funds through HRI. If these names are a bit unfamiliar, hopefully they're not, but if they are, or you just want to see that bio again, you can go to the IPPS website, and there is a brief biography of all the individuals for these named funds. I just pulled up the one for Al Fordham. If you read through here, hopefully you'll find it a wonderful walk back through history. We are still supporting research through HRI, but a few years ago, we transitioned to support research through the Eastern Region Foundation. The Research Grant Committee proposed, and it was accepted, that at least these first few rounds of research grants would go to support undergraduate horticultural student research projects. The whole idea of the Eastern Region Foundation, Growing Future Horticulturists. The first grant recipient received funds in 2020. This was Kirsty Neeson. She works in the lab of Dr. Harsh Bias at the University of Delaware. Her proposed research was harnessing benign microbe applications to reduce damping off. We look forward, if we have an in-person annual meeting in 2021, to hear about the successes of her research. Very shortly, the announcement will come out for the second round of research grants. The deadline for applications is February 1st. And again, this will be used to support undergraduate research. The grants we provide are for $2,000 to support research and student wages. Thank you for this opportunity to provide an update from our research committee. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me at rgeneve@uky.edu. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our three committee chairmen. Well done, very well done to help explain what it is that you do. There's a couple of things I want to point out to you from those talks. Do you see it like in Bob Geneve's thing? We're funding undergraduate students in how to put together a grant application and do research. So what we're really doing is training researchers to be researchers and how to fund the process. I'm also involved with HRI, and I've reviewed an awful lot of research grants that are, large, big money, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 research grants. And by the way, Bob Geneve clearly is one of the best writer of those grants. How cool is it that he's our chairman of our committee, helping to evaluate and train the young people that are applying for this smaller grant as a training tool. The internship program is really cool. It's not something that is offered anywhere else. So to have an internship through IPPS is a very unique experience. And in Bob's report, I look at those names on that list, those HRI named funds. Dr. Chadwick, Ralph Shugart, Peter Oram. These are the people I used to walk down the hotel hallways, and when I passed them, I kind of just stood there and thought, oh my God, do you know who that is that just walked by? So these are some really cool people that set the stage for where we are today. They were mentors. I'd like to take a minute here to tell you, COVID's been tough on everybody. It really has. No kidding, like this is news to you. The cost has been very private, personal, deadly, tragic, disruptive, and financially costly to an awful lot of people. Hell, IPPS, we lost Ontario, the meeting, not the place, but with the meeting. And I was really looking forward to going there. That would have been an awful lot of fun. And I'm sure we're very educational. Well, one thing about it is that I've learned that human beings are very resilient. We really are. We do some stupid stuff. We get knocked down, we fail, problems come up, COVID, different things. But we have a habit of standing back up and shaking it off, learning from our mistakes, and moving forward better than ever. I want to really point out that IPPS could have been very complacent in all this, the board, and they didn't. This micro meeting, the other ones like it, are an example of how they did not sit on their hands and throw a fit and say, woe is me. No, we solved the problem of communicating with our members with these micro meetings. So I really want to congratulate the IPPS Eastern Region Board for coming up with this program. These are fantastic. COVID may be one of the best, worst things that ever happened to IPPS. When this is over and the conference's annual conference return, think about how valuable your membership in IPPS is going to be if we can continue these micro meetings that are truly engaging us throughout the year and are able to do the personal contact of the annual conference. Just think how much more valuable that membership is going to be to you rather than just maybe going to a conference every year or once every few years. The value of your IPPS membership is going to truly improve. And so thanks to the people that started this program. I want to talk a little bit about a Name the Library event that's coming up. And I hope we can get that slide up here a little bit. We had a situation where Dick Zimmerman, some of you may know Dick, he was a long time member and board member at IPPS Eastern Region, and he's been around as long as dirt. And Dick has a full, complete collection of the IPPS proceedings from 1950 until 2018. He has donated that entire set of books to IPPS Eastern Region Foundation. We are going ahead and collecting donations right now, and we'll have some sort of a drawing to figure out who's going to have a chance, who has made a donation to the foundation, to choose the library that they would like to have those books go to, and to name that library at that time. So first, I want to thank Dick Zimmerman, a longtime USDA researcher, who has gone and donated these books. And this is a wonderful opportunity to go ahead and make a donation, and perhaps you'll be the one that can choose where to send it, and send it to the horticultural school of your choice or any of those possible things. So we're gonna go ahead and see if that's possible. So that brings up, how do I donate? Well, Peggy is handling the chat line, Peggy Walsh-Craig. And the first way you can donate is the chat box down at the lower part of your screen. If you're not familiar with Zoom, there's a link inside of there that Peggy has copied, and it will go, if you click on that, it'll just take you right to the IPPS Eastern Region Foundation donation page. There you can use our Square account and your credit card to go and do a donation that's instantaneous to us today. That's a very easy way to proceed. You can go to the website on the left-hand side here. You can see where our, that's the address of our page if you want to copy that. So you can do it that way. Another way to do it is you can simply go to the chat line, put your name in. Say, I'm Dale Pearson and I want to donate $10,000 to the Eastern Region Foundation. I hope Dale's on here today, because that would be really funny. If we all just put in $50 and everybody did it in Dale's name, that would be great. But we could go ahead and do that, and put your name in, put your donation amount, and it'll be go be part of the chat record, and we'll go ahead and get a hold of you and find a way to get the money, and we'll have a donation made. If you're old school, you can go get your checkbook. You can go ahead to that address on the left-hand side there, IPPS Eastern Region Foundation, P.O. Box 5764, Wakefield, Rhode Island, 02880. You can just write an old-fashioned paper check, put it in an envelope, stick a stamp on it, and snail mail it to us, and we'll be very, very grateful for that. There's one other kind of major donation you can do. Recently, I sent out some letters to everyone talking about making donations, and also legacy donations. Legacy donations are perhaps setting up something in your estate plan or something. And we found out when we sent out those letters that there were several people that had already done this, and we weren't even aware of it. And we were notified of that, and now we're getting a little bit more organized about donors and their legacy plans. But if you wanted to go and remember IPPS Eastern Region Foundation in your estate plan and send us a whole bunch of money later on, that would be a pretty cool thing to do and remember us by. But we have it's a little bit like the OxyClean commercial, but that's not all. We're going to do something a little special to everyone who donates today. And this is from us at Decker Nursery. We're about to go into our centennial year of the Decker family, of our our years in horticulture, 100 years. My grandfather, Paul Offenberg, came over from Holland. He was a professionally trained horticulturalist, and he came over after World War I and started up in 1921. This makes this year coming up our 100th anniversary. One of the things that we've purchased to hand out to all our customers are these really cool neck gaiters with a special logo on there that has the, let me see, there we go, has dates of our 100-year celebration. And we've got a whole bunch of these. And if you make a donation to HRI today, we're going to go ahead and send you one. What we found out in the nursery is they're actually unbelievably warm because Pam Dukes, our special project coordinator, director, made them really, really well and went and didn't cut any corners on here. So they're not only warm if you're working outside, they work quite well for this. And they've got a logo on there, especially for our anniversary. And if you make a donation today, Decker Nursery will send you one along with a personal thank you note from me. So I really want to appreciate that opportunity to help us celebrate our 100th birthday. And that will be an extra little gift to you to go ahead and say thank you for making a contribution to the donation to the foundation. At this point, I'd like to ask if Paul Capiello could join me on screen here a little bit. And let's see what we can do.
There I am.
Paul is a good friend of mine. Many of you know him in the Eastern region. And Paul, if you don't, Paul's the director of Udall Gardens. He's a celebrated author in horticultural books, a professor, an IPPS past president, fellow Award of Merit winner. And he's also a recent host of the latest IPPS micro-meeting, which got some very rave reviews there, Paul, including one of the award winners, if you notice. So, Paul, you and I are on the foundation fundraising committee. And why don't you share with us, if you could, some of your thoughts about the progress of the foundation, if you could, Paul.
Happy to do that, Brian, and thanks for your leadership in making all this happen. I know it's a big job. You got this other little side job called Decker's Nursery that takes a little bit of your time once in a while, but we appreciate all of your leadership in the foundation, and it's a fantastic group. And I tell you, every one of us who has enjoyed any measure of success at all in this business, and all of us who are fortunate enough to work in this industry for a living, all of us got where we are by working hard and working late at the office or in miserable weather outside, and really, putting the nose to the grindstone. But the thing we all have in common is every single one of us had someone in our past, maybe it was a couple of people, who provided that spark, provided that opportunity and that inspiration to help get us where we are now. I know for me, when I started as a young landscape architecture student at Rutgers, it was Bruce Hamilton, who was the plant materials professor there in grad school, Gary Kling at University of Illinois. But we all have people like that in our background. They're the ones who helped, as I say, provide that spark and that opportunity and those introductions and the help and the hand up that we needed to get to where we are. So my challenge today, I'm going to make this short. You've heard some great testimonials here. And honestly, if you don't respond to them, Brian's going to come and twist your arm anyway. But so I'm going to just leave a short message and a short challenge with you. And that is for all of us to be that person for somebody else, for all of us to be the individual that provides that spark, that inspiration, that opportunity, that connection, that word of encouragement for someone who's coming up, who's going to replace us and keep this industry going and make it stronger and even better. None of us got here by ourselves, and it's a great time to pay it back to those people who are coming up behind us. So I challenge each of us to, once you get off this Zoom call today, take 30 seconds, sit in your chair and think about who it was out there who really provided that spark for you and that opportunity, and then think about being that person for the next generation, and then helping us do that through this foundation. That's just such a fantastic thing, and such a great addition, and such a great legacy for all of us and for IPPS Eastern Region. So thanks for being here with us. Thanks for being part of a fantastic organization. And I wish you all happy holidays and a safe holiday as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Very well said. A mentor. Yeah, that's what it takes, is a mentor. And I really appreciate your comments there, because they are so true. So true. I hope you've all enjoyed this update on the foundation. I've enjoyed giving it, and I'm very, very proud of all those awardees that we were able to help this year. And now you know why I'm here. I'm here to ask for money. I'm here to ask for your help. I'm here to ask for your volunteering on some of our committees, if you will. I'm here to ask for you to make those donations. We need that to expand our ability to be that mentor. You saw how much these awards meant to those young people, and I'd like to be able to do that to a few more people in the future as we grow. If you don't ever give us another dime, we'll keep working off of your corpus. But the only way that corpus is going to grow is to go ahead and reach deep and help us out. Some of us had a really great year from COVID. And I'm sorry, but that's truth. And public gardens suffered. They couldn't have people visit. Education has suffered. That's been very, very challenging to some of our members that are the professors that their objective is to teach these young people. In the industry, we didn't know we were going to be able to even get into our nurseries to care for our plants in March. And at the end of the year, our company, for instance, had record-breaking sales and profitability due to an increased interest in gardening and overall sales in horticulture. So we've had a great year because of COVID. I call that a collateral benefit, not collateral damage, but a collateral benefit. As a result, I know at Decker Nursery, we've increased the rate of payment on a contribution that we have promised to make back in Madison, and have paid it off early. I noticed that we received a $5,000 donation the other day from Spring Meadow Nursery, and countless other donations from some other people that have stepped up to the plate here recently, along with the $2,000 we raised during the emergency fundraising back in the summertime for the additional third scholarship. So for some of us, this is the year to give, guys. This is the year to reach a little bit deeper and help be that mentor that we need to have. I don't know how to say it any differently. If you're not in that financial position, I get it. But if you are, this is time to be grateful and show your appreciation by helping others. That's kind of how I'm calling it. So I want to go back a minute now to the analogy I brought up earlier, and that was that car that we were going to rebuild. That foundation is that old jalopy, that rusted up piece of junk that we built a really, really, really good car. It's a good car. Sounds good, runs good, looks good, works good. Let's take that next generation of horticulturals for a ride in that car. They deserve it. They deserve the same chance others gave us, others mentors gave us. And there's only one problem we got with that car right now. It's out of gas. Need some more gas in the tank. That's what we need you for today. You need to either go to the link and make a donation to the Square site. You need to go on the chat line right now, raise your hand just like you would if I was facing you down in one of those meetings at the annual conferences where I'd turn everybody up by their ankles until I could shake every nickel out of your pockets I possibly could. Or you need to go ahead and write us a check or do whatever you can. And if you can't do any of that, maybe you can volunteer. But we are doing an awful lot of good for these people. So I want you to help me. I want you to go and help me put some gas in that car, because if you do, you're going to change somebody's life. And God knows we could sure use a little bit of that right now in the midst of what we're in, everybody as a planet. So help me change some people's lives today. Let's put some gas in that car. Donate now. I want to thank you for your time today. Thank you for your friendship and your camaraderie over the years, and the opportunity to go ahead and serve as the executive director of this fine foundation. I wasn't around when it started, but I'm sure having a lot of fun being involved with it now. I want to thank all our committee members for their work. It's very clear just how professional you have been here today. Okay, folks, let's go to the gas station. Thanks a lot.